Hello again, welcome back. Day 4 implementation pack video. As per all the other days, implementation pack provides you with the tools and the ability to actually start to implement some of the policies and processes you've had within the document. So as part of this pack, you've been given a free document for today, which was your risk management procedure. You've then received your environmental, your electrical safety and your workplace inspection policy, which again outline how your company proposes and is required to undertake these processes as part of your risk management. The implementation pack gives you the tools to actually implement this, manage this within your workplace should these incidents require attention, or if you need to undertake your workplace inspections. So there's 4 documents that go in the workplace inspection for your risk assessment. I'll go through them, each of those. And the final one is a safe work procedure, which I will actually run through in a separate video because it's a little bit different to this and it's quite comprehensive. So we'll cover that in a second video. As far as the workplace inspection documentation you have a workplace inspection checklist. These documents are designed to start broad and then narrow down as things arise or as you have different requirements within your workplace. So the workplace inspection checklist is a very good checklist if it's your first foray into risk management. It basically covers from a high level everything within the workplace. So it talks about your work environment. So is it clean? Is it tidy? It talks about lighting. It talks about your first aid facilities, your emergency response. So is there an emergency assembly area, etc. set up? All your stacking and storage, your electrical installations, and so on and so forth. It talks about basically the whole broad array within your workplace, so you can effectively go through and say, okay, tick, 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 cross, cross, cross. A very quick and easy way to highlight where your safety risks lie. Once you've worked that out, then you can go into a bit more detail in what you've got here is your hazard and risk assessment form. So once you've highlighted any risks within your workplace inspection, then you can go through and take a bit more step. In day 3, we talked about your incident management. We had the incident report form. If an incident occurred, you would also fall under the hazard report and risk assessment, so that you would, if someone's actually been injured or if someone hasn't been injured, regardless of how the hazard's been identified, you would use this form. So it talks about what exactly is the hazard, what's the potential risk. So this was where I was talking about before, is you can prioritize your risk. On the back page of this, it actually has for you a risk assessment matrix. So you can see if you're looking at a hazard, how likely is something to happen? So if someone's welding with no safety equipment, it's pretty highly likely they're going to get a burn. If they do get a burn, what's the outcome of that burn? So is it a death or disability? Maybe not if they're getting burnt. Is it a long-term illness, serious injury? Absolutely. If someone gets burnt welding, it's probably going to be a serious injury. So if it's very likely and a serious injury, that's a risk rating of 2. You can see the red 2 there. That means that you've really got to do something about this straight away. It's a high risk, high risk of someone getting injured, and the injury is going to be pretty consequential. So that is something that you need to look at as you're going through each of the risk assessments. Then on the second page, it talks about, if I can get the page open, mind you, it talks about the proposed solutions. So these proposed solutions might be done in consultation with the actual worker. We keep talking about consultation. Keep the workers involved in these processes. They're the ones using it. They're the ones who'll tell you if something will or won't work. One of the biggest risks you see with the whole hazard management process and the risk assessment process is that quite often you have untrained people who will be undertaking the risk assessment, and they might come up with a proposed solution. That proposed solution then may cost the company in other ways, which means it slows down your manufacturing process or slows down the process, which means you lose money and lose customers. So then what happens is the people doing that job will try and circumvent that response or that control because they know it's costing money in other areas. So you need to do these solutions in consultation with your staff to make sure that you are implementing a control that is absolutely going to remove the risk of injury, but also not cause any too many major disruptions to the actual tasks that need to be undertaken within that workplace. Again, have it all signed off. That is recorded within the company workplace health and safety documentation records, and it is then managed in that process. The final one you've got within your risk management register, within this process, is your risk management register. As each risk is highlighted within your report, it is included on here. We didn't mention this in the incident management yesterday, because effectively what it's doing, it's giving you a list of all the risks that have been, all the hazards been identified, what their control measures were, and when they are going to be reviewed. That's the critical part, as we said, and as you would have remembered, the 4 steps: identify, assess, control, and review. This risk management register helps you with that review process. It keeps it all in one place, so you know exactly when you need to review these risks and make sure that the controls you got in place are still valid. Okay, the second video I will go through the safe work procedure and the job safety analysis, so keep an eye out for that. And as usual, any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thank you. Bye.